It's October 1st, and I decided to give recording at this time of the morning a try in this building, in this town, in this place. It's really quiet, and I actually usually don't record out here at this time because I don't have adequate lighting, just because of the lamp where it's located, and I don't want to move things around. But I forget that I have an overhead incandescent, which I don't like and I don't use. But and you can see it provides enough light, but it's strange, or it's different at least, and I don't know how this looks. But anyway, I'm usually at work at this time, but since I'm on vacation, here I am. So I've been collecting things to talk about, more than what I could ever talk about in a short, and because they would link together, and then the shorts are separated by days, and it wouldn't make sense to anybody unless they were actually paying attention and following along and can, have a continuity or sense of what I'm doing or who I am, which not very many people that pay attention or happen upon this channel, possess. So it's like, how much does anyone actually care? I care. This is why I'm doing it. Keep a record for myself what my own life was like at the time when this was going on or that was going on, and all these things that I don't know are going on. And but this is what I was doing. This is where I was, and how I was, and what I was thinking, and what I thought at the time, and what I didn't know about the time. That whole plausible deniability aspect. I'm not responsible for all the things that I don't know, or I haven't been told, or I might only suspect but don't have confirmation. And because I know how I feel about lots of things, but what good does it do me if so I usually just, I'll just continue doing whatever it is I'm doing, and if it was important or if I should know, I will be let know, I figure. Of course, that strategy it results in nothing. But it does feel that I realize that from time to time, that doing nothing results in nothing. And so I make attempts, take initiative, and I try to be brave. And that results in nothing too, and hurt feelings. So I just like, okay, when I don't try, nothing works. And when I do try, I hurt people's feelings. So I don't know if it's just I don't translate well, or I don't write well, or talk well, or I misrepresent my words, or I don't know. But that's what another aspect of these videos are for. It's like, this is how I am, and this is how I talk, and so this is a average window into how it is I am as a person the rest of the time. Because that's what I'm usually interested in when talking to people. It's like, I wonder what they're like in private spaces, when they don't feel as though they have to have their social face on, their mask. Everybody wears a mask. It's part of their assumed costume. And but anyway, like I said, I did have some things to talk about that I've just been collecting. I actually had to write a list so I wouldn't forget. And this far into the video, everybody's gone, so I feel free to talk. And I did have to move my tree over there, the big one, because it takes up too much space, and I couldn't close the curtain because I didn't want to have the lights on with the curtain open. So anyway, but the little tree, the little big tree is, there for emotional support. Because, I have trees, I don't have pets. It's not a pet-friendly building. So, anyway, I forgot I was going to do this. a little bit of show and tell before I start talking about other things. Um, this is what the full moon looked like the other morning. It's not, I don't have the greatest technology, but and this is what it sounded like. For whatever reason, the phone goes dim in lighting situations like this, where there isn't any. And there's another. So I know it's not coming out very well, but I figure instead of making a short with uploading this or whatever, like that's okay. I'll just include it here. And remember, I was talking about building maintenance being in here, making noise and construction and interrupting my sleep. And, anyway, they will be replacing my door, the one that's out to the hallway. And I've arranged it so they'll do it when I'm not here. So that'll be okay. Though I don't like people having access to my space when I'm not here to guard it. So that makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm putting out that effort of trust that it'll be okay. Just trust in people from time to time, and it'll be okay. So anyway, but before I, go on my vacation, I am going to clean up a little bit and secure some other items to make sure that I just don't like things being left out. Even things that I'm not going to take with me. I don't want them just being, just like this laptop. I'm not taking it with me, but I also don't want to just leave it laying around, just in case. So, makes me a little bit nervous. Anyway, so here is my door. A perfectly functional door that works. And this is what the other doors looked like for the most part. I think some of them are slightly different, but mostly about like that. And then the style of door that the building owners wanted to install looked like that. So that's my neighbor's door now, what his looks like. So that'll be my door. And yeah, it takes them hours. And they get here like right after I'm getting home from work. And they asked me if it was okay to change out my door. And I was like, and they were here that day doing other things till like, till like mid-afternoon. And I had to retreat to the back bedroom, which is next to the road, where all the traffic and sirens are, to attempt to sleep back there, because it's better by sleeping by traffic than to try to sleep by voices and construction and saws and all sorts of stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so other than that, in terms of updates on my friend Barbara, she actually did at the meeting last Wednesday, this most recent recovery meeting, she let me know ahead of time that it was going to be her last meeting. So she is, and she had been warning or letting me know in advance for years that she was going to give up going to the meetings soon. And then she just kept on going because she didn't want to, she's afraid that, if she stops going, she'll stop seeing me. And she doesn't want to lose that point of connection. And, so, but then she kept going to the meetings anyway, and I just kept reminding her that it's like, it's okay. You don't have to. And it's not like, I'll be disappointed or, It's like, do what you need to do. It's getting around at 90 years old. I don't know what that's like. So, and I also always felt a little bit unsure, like, because I take responsibility for her, and she's out and about after dark, and I'm just kind of, cradling her along as her, like a, as a support crutch, just helping her move around, and it's like if something happened, it's like, what would I do, and would I be able to handle the situation and get her help, or like if she just fell, pick her up and get her, and take and do the right thing. I assume so, but it never happened. I was just very, very careful, and just had hands and ready for missteps, and her losing her balance and just correcting as she moved, and never had an accident on my watch. But anyway, so she's going to stop going to meetings, but she does still want to see me. So we talked a little bit about it after the meeting, that we could have a lunch or something, and we'll figure something out. I like going out to lunch, I guess. So we'll see. But she was getting a little bit. Meetings were becoming too much. Being out that late and then being around. I don't know. For her, it was losing a little bit of that magic. And yeah, I will miss her, being her presence and what she adds. But I don't know. A part of me was always a little bit distracted by making sure that she was okay, and that she was having a good experience. So when the times when she hasn't been there, just because she didn't feel like it, I just go on my own. She was one less thing that I needed to keep in the front of my mind. So I was able to interact and speak and be present with more passion or presence or something like that. In the moment, at the time, where I am a little bit more than usual. And after I finish talking, I have no idea what I've said, but I have a general sense that it was all right. And those are some of the times that it happens. It's like, I really wish there was some sort of recording that it's like, what did I say? And how did I say it? What did it sound like? What did people in the room, what was their reaction? Because sometimes I wonder if people are just rolling their eyes, like, there goes her. So, anyway, I like to think that it's, but I don't know. It might just be giving myself way too much credit. But I don't know. I seem to be respected in some way. I don't know if it's the kind of respect I want, though. I can't tell. And I also asked her if she was going to make an announcement that it was going to be her last meeting, and she said that she wasn't going to, because she didn't want the attention, and she didn't want people to worry, and also it leaves her the option of, if she doesn't like it, not going after like a week or two or a month or whatever, gives her the option that she can show back up at will when she wants to. It's not like, but you said you weren't coming anymore, and you're here again, and welcome back. And she just doesn't want all that unnecessary attention. So we'll see. And let's see. Also, I made a short recording a while ago about quitting eating as much snack foods, processed food, sugars and starches and things like that. And the main thing was not buying things and having it with me and taking them to work and having them on my breaks and at the lunch, and I've kept up with that. I started doing that on September 6th and stopped buying things to have with me on, deliberately. The only intent of having them and buying them was for my breaks and my lunch at work in the car. And I stopped doing that. And it saves me money, it saves me time from having to make sure I've got enough, which I always kind of was in the back of my mind. Do I have enough for today? I need to buy more snacks. And it was kind of annoying, as much as, like, back when I used to smoke, making sure I had enough to smoke for that day. I had my supply. And if I didn't have enough, or didn't think I did, I'd have to stop, make an extra stop, and an extra purchase. And cigarettes are expensive. When I quit 4 years ago, they were $7.75 a pack. A single pack, 20 cigarettes, $7.75. I don't know what they're up to now. I have no reason to know. I'm still quit, and that feels good. So out with the snacks, and I also made a recent recording about quitting drinking a pot of coffee a day, and I'm still going with that. I have not made a pot of coffee here. I've still had some coffee at a few places, but just, a cup here, a cup there, but at meetings. And I don't really get much out of it. It's like, oh yeah, coffee, yeah. But in the context that I'm in, it's like it makes sense, and it's just like, well, I have a cup of coffee, and that's the end of it. And then I don't crave it or want more. I just have it in that context. And the most important thing is I'm not making a cup of coffee or making a pot of coffee and then having it available for me to, and then feel that I need to take it to work and then have it with me. So it's like I have to have coffee before I work, so I'm awake and have energy. And then I have to have my coffee at my lunch break so I can stay awake and keep going. It's like, no, I do not. It's like if I just, I'm not dependent. I'm not caffeine dependent. Whatever effects are just psychological. And I didn't really have any sort of, which surprises me. I thought I would have any sort of withdrawal from having a pot of coffee a day for the longest time to nothing. And it's like if I had like a mild headache, it's like maybe that's it. Maybe that's my caffeine withdrawal, is this mild headache. But I was like, well, maybe I didn't get enough sleep either, or it wasn't hydrated. I'm not sure. But I was glad for that. I was a little worried that I would have some more physiological response to a sudden dramatic reduction in caffeine intake. So, and that's been since September 20th. So that's 10 pots of coffee that I haven't drank, which sounds insane. But I nearly drank a whole pot of coffee every day. And so that's saving a little bit of money too. And I don't know, I guess I already just assumed I would talk about this, so I didn't write it down. But September 28th was my anniversary for quitting smoking. It was right before the fall before the coronavirus and the pandemic, the global pandemic, and COVID-19. And it's a long story, and I'm already like 20 minutes into this video. But that decision, how I came to be making it, and then follow through with it, and that moment when I actually, had my first, It's like, am I doing this? Quitting smoking? And yeah, I don't know if it's an interesting story, but yeah. But I'm happy that I was the person capable enough and had enough foresight and of the situation to just go ahead and just give it up. And I did, and I haven't picked it up since, because I've just told myself, just like with drinking or alcohol, it's like, I can't have just one. So don't even bother over it. Don't even worry over it. Just don't have one. You don't have to worry about the rest. Because if I have that one, I might enjoy it. That's the problem. It's like, well, I really enjoyed that one for old time's sake. I think I'll have another one for old time's sake. And that doesn't work. And then pretty soon I'm just back doing, it's like, so I don't want to chance it. I don't want to risk it, and it's not worth it. It provides nothing. Nothing's, satisfactory. Because then I'm just imprisoning myself again. Cigarettes are, just horrible. And I like myself a lot better not smoking than I ever was with smoking. Just the smell and the culture and the extra effort and maintenance and mood swings and being totally dependent and focused on a schedule of when I can smoke, where I can smoke. Do I smell like smoke? Do people see me smoking? What do they think? I'd rather just not smoke. And then I don't have to worry about any of it, including all the health stuff, because I like my running too. And I only started running again in earnest at the beginning of 2021. So I'm in my third year of the return to the run. And I wouldn't be able to run like I do if I was still smoking. So I needed that prep time, I guess, for quitting smoking 4 years ago to get to the point where I was able to run again with confidence and not be dying. So I've got a lot stronger, cardiovascular-wise and respiratory-wise. I think my lungs will never make a full recovery, I imagine. They're permanently damaged in some ways, but not smoking it's a lot better than just being resigned to a fate. It's like, no, I have a choice. I can make better choices. If I'm going to live, I should live better. So there's that. And as far as running goes, I don't know the exact mile count, but I did get my next 500 miles complete this past Thursday. Because in my first year, since I started recording my runs and my miles, I got 1,091 miles between April 2nd, 2022 and April 2nd, 2023. I had 1,091 miles, between World Autism Awareness Days. And so far this year, between April 2nd, 2023 and today, I've got like 502 miles, 503 miles total, which I crossed that mark as part of a half marathon that I decided on a whim to go ahead and do just by myself. I just ran that distance, not an actual marathon or half marathon, but I went that distance. A little bit more, actually, but just for fun. And I didn't plan it either. I was just like, because for some reason I wanted to get 3 half marathons in, because I did last year. So I was like, well, I should get 3 in this year too. So I'm done, because I did 2 half marathons almost in succession in the first 2 weeks of June or something this year. And then I tried to go for a third one, but I hurt myself, and overexertion at least. and then I had to kind of dial it back for a while. But on the Thursday, this past Thursday, I was out for my regular, trying to go for my regular 10-mile run, and I was remembering about getting that half marathon done, and it only requires an additional, 33 minutes, 33 seconds to go the distance that I require to get there. And I was like, all I have to do is just keep going. That's all it requires. I just have to keep going. And it's like, is today the day? And if not today, then when? I feel pretty good. The weather's cooperative. It was a foggy and overcast morning, because I was running it got started just before sunrise. And by that time, I was already over halfway into my run, my presumed run, and I was like, I could just go, and keep going. I feel pretty good. So it's like, let's get to, roundabout where my usual, finishing line is, and see how I feel then. I don't have to. I can back out. I can change my mind. I've done that before. And I got there, and I just was like, okay, well, detour time, and took my detour that extends my run to a different location and keeps me going. It gives me I'm going farther away from home at that point. It's like, okay, well, I guess I'm going. So I did. And I made that little extra venture out and then came back. And I got back to my inner loop. And I looked at the time. And this is where it threw me off last time, months earlier. And I actually stopped that day. Because I was like demoralized by how much farther I had to go. Because I was faster than what I expected. And I saw I had 15 minutes left, and I was like, dang it. And I was like, can I go? Do I have it left? Because I was expecting to not have that much left. And as far as time, I was like, can I go another 15 minutes to get to my half marathon distance and time? And the answer came back yes. Because if not then when? Then was the time. And it's like, now, it's done. And not that I ever had to, and anyone cares, and I'm the only one that knows about it. But I like knowing, it's like, yeah, I was able to do it, and it is done. Yeah, but as far as getting 1,000 miles this year, between April 2nd, 2023 and April 2nd, 2024, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll make it. Not that I have to, and that there's any reward or anything. It's just to say that, or to feel that I've done it. It's just a little something to do, to feel alive, to feel like I've accomplished something. Not that it means anything or proves anything, but it means something to me. I don't know what. But that doesn't mean it's not worth trying. So I'm going to keep going, and we'll see how far I get. I did have 91 bonus miles in the first year, if you want to call them that, that I went over my 1,000 between April 2nds. So this year I might have to tap into those bonus miles or something. But I'm going to try to get the extra 500 and get an independent 1,000 on my own this year. Let's see. There's other things to talk about, but I'm running out of time. I set these little rules and then I follow them. I don't have to. I can make these as long as I want, but I think half an hour is long enough. I guess I was going to talk about the upcoming road trip to visit my brother, but there'll be plenty of time for that because I'll be traveling, and then before you know it, I'll be up in the hotel up there, and I'll be recording in the hotel. So that'll be fun. So I'll see you there. And I just hope for safe travels and good weather conditions. I don't expect any trouble, but that doesn't mean that there won't be any. But I'll do my best.